So, hi everybody. This is sort of an update video to the one I just now posted. Um, a comment came along and it sort of pissed me off, honestly. And I don't think it was meant mean-spirited, but my intention regarding possibly putting an in-law in my backyard is not meant to take the place of not getting a job. You have no idea what it's like unless you suffer from it. Anxiety and depression and experiencing the life I have led for the last 17, almost 18 years. There are no words to possibly convey. I am not a lazy person. I am not living off disability. I am not living off Social Security. I am not on food stamps or anything government related. And for those of you that need those programs, God bless you. Because they're not easy to get, I know. I've tried to do disability for my wrist and my back. And I was denied. I went through a long and lengthy process. I get that. I am so mentally overloaded with anxiety. Depression plays a huge part in this, but now the anxiety has taken over. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It is a beast. If I could get rid of it tomorrow, I would. I can't. So don't assume that the only reason I'm maybe possibly able to pull this off and put an in-law unit in the back of my house is so I can avoid going to work. That's not it at all. Primarily, it is to increase the value of the property. So when I do sell it, I can get more from it. If you only knew where I lived and how common this situation is, by people adding on, by people adding an in-law unit, a house in back of a house, whatever you want to call it, it is probably about 90% of the people that do it. And I don't know what percentage actually legitimately reports it as rent. From what I'm hearing, a lot of these people are just paying under the table. Cash. So I just get really, really defensive when people, assume I'm lazy, assume I've never held a job other than taking care of my parents, assume I don't want to go back to work. That isn't the case at all. Every single day, I have anxiety. Every single minute, practically. So unless you deal with it, unless you walk in my shoes, you have no idea what I go through and what I have been through. It's unimaginable. It's unexplainable. It's horrific, and I wouldn't wish this upon anybody. So I just wanted to get that straight, that me doing that or me thinking I can do that has nothing to do with me getting a job or not getting a job. It would be income if I had a job. It would be income if I didn't have a job. Who doesn't want to make more money? Who doesn't want to make money? I'm not stupid. I know what I'm living on now is not going to last me the rest of my life. You would have to be incredibly dumb and idiotic and not from this earth to think this is going to last me for the rest of my life, because it isn't. But I can only live one day at a time, 1 hour, 1 minute sometimes. Sometimes I can't even function. And the only reason I get up and have to do things are my kids. Because if I didn't, I would probably just lay in bed and cry myself into a river every single day. And there are days when I don't leave the house. There are nights when I don't get any sleep. I can't even begin to tell you the last good night's sleep I got. I don't even, I mean, we're talking, probably over 9 or 10 years ago when my dad was here. And I knew my mom and my dad were in one room. I still had a baby monitor on her. I didn't have to monitor her that much. But my mom wasn't in the room by herself. My dad was there. And the minute my dad passed away, I basically stopped sleeping. Because I had one eye shut and one eye open to watch the monitor. And if you don't think I had to get up with her 1,000 times a night sometimes, or not at all, every night was different. And your body and your mind just simply can't go back to sleeping, especially when you're full of anxiety, especially when you're full of worry. I mean, I generally can fall asleep. I generally can't stay asleep, or I wake up 3 or 4 times a night. So, that on top of lack of sleep, anxiety, depression, it's not exactly a great combination to go out and look for a job and to try to keep a job. I worked my entire life before I took care of my parents. So don't assume that I'm trying to make a quick buck and I'm not trying to do it legally and, I'm just trying to get by like everybody else. So my piece is said. I am going to disable comments because I don't want to hear about it. So take care, everybody. Bye.